Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Monday, August 10th, 2020, and I am James Lott Jr. This is the SOS show with James Lott Jr., and I'm glad we were back. And I know it's been a few weeks. I had to deal with some personal issues with my mom, and she's doing okay now. She's doing okay. But you guys, thanks for the outpouring support. Stage 1 breast cancer, folks, and so make sure you get your mammograms, folks. That's how they found it. She got her checkup, and that's how they found it was early detection. She does it every year. So mammograms can save lives, make a difference. That's my new crusade. Debbie is my new crusade now. She had her lumpectomy. So far, she's doing okay. So I'm in stage 1. And for men out there, testicular cancer, check under the hood there, check them. Same thing. So just, you feel anything strange, go to the doctor. I'll make sure I say that. But we're here to talk about something that's really great because a lot of you guys are at home. And so we're gonna, this book is like right on time. I wrote that in my notes. Like, this is right on time. Now, a return guest that I just love so much, and she's been on several times, and she is Simply Placed LLC. She's a productivity and professional organizer consultant. And the book is a series called the One Habit series. It's such a great series. And so what that's about. She has the #1 selling. That's right, kids. The #1 selling What Habit for a Thriving Home Office, with Stephen Chambliss and others. And so I'm just very excited to talk about this. There's a book. She's talking to you, Debbie Shulman Rosemont. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, James. I'm so glad to be back on your show. I love doing it too. So thanks for asking.
We always have a good time. So I like that. I learned something. Now, before I begin to talk to her, I always do my thanks and gratitude that every episode I've done over 300-something shows, I do every single time. And during this time period, thanks and gratitude are very necessary. But I'm going to actually tailor my thanks and gratitude to all of the businesses that allow folks to work from home, to telecommute, whether it's a few days a week to the full time. During this whole COVID situation, it has been just wonderful that the folks I know are able to be home and still continue to work and have their jobs. So I want to give a special shout out to the business owners who do that. And I also want to give a shout out to all the roommates, spouses, partners, kids who have to be home when that person is working from home. It's not always easy when someone has to go into another room. And in some cases, maybe you can't go into another room. It's a part of a room. It's part of a living room or a kitchen or something. And they have to work. And you're being told, please be quiet. I'm on the phone. Please do that. There's all kinds of things that happen. So I give a special gratitude to all of you who are putting up for that things. I work from home also, and I have people who try to come in my room, and I'm like, I'm busy. So I want to give a special shout out to that. And give a special shout out to Zoom meetings. Thank you so much. It's changed my life and it's helped everything. I wish I had stock in Zoom. It's like I had no idea that I'd be using it all the time for these interviews, for my business, for my teaching, for my it's just been a godsend. Thank you, Zoom. And that's my thanks and gratitude. Should always give thanks and gratitude.
Love it.
Thank you. I knew you would. So, Debbie, I always ask everybody, first of all, just how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I think I was reflecting on the last time I was on your show, James, and it was at the very beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
I remember it well because we spoke on the phone. I was in Southern California. I wasn't far from where you are.
Sure, I know.
In fact, we joked about meeting in person. It just wasn't possible to do that then. But I remember being down there that week, and that week, it was the week of March 9th. That week, so much changed. And, we were talking about just the very beginning of the pandemic and the impact that it was having on our businesses and that sort of thing. And so I think about the last time we spoke, and I think about till now, and it's been 5 months, just shy of 5 months since we talked last, and so much has changed. So how am I doing? I'm doing well. In that 5 months, things have been like this, and that happens. It happens for everybody, where we have lots of uncertainty and fear and need to change and adjust and pivot and right size and upsize and downsize and all the things. And through it all, I am constantly, expressing gratitude and have a morning gratitude practice. I am most grateful for my health and for the health of my, loved ones, and thankfully my employees, and safety, and that business certainly has not gone under. We had a rapid decline and what's happening, and now we're starting to certainly pick back up again. So I'm doing well.
You said that very well. I can agree with you. It's just been up and down. It's literally it's just literally having to take things day by day.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to go day by day, and especially as a business owner, kind of have to.
Yeah. And, I certainly, if I'm being honest and authentic, which that's the only way I know how to be, there were days that it was rough. I mean, days that the uncertainty and the anxiety got to me more. And I just wanted to, to be home, and I wasn't super energized around work because at the time I had never worked so hard for no revenue. Like, I was doing all the things to keep afloat, and lots of good things came of it. I mean, pandemic project right here. Right? So I wrote a book.
Right.
We created a guide. I know we talked about this, and you'll put it in the notes, but we created a work from home, rock your work from home guide. Created a workshop on working productively from home. So just seeing this writing on the wall, certainly not knowing how long it would last, that was part of the uncertainty. We wanted to address a need that we knew was going to come, and that was, okay, we have to do this. We have to work from home, and there could be a return to the office for some of our clients and some of our colleagues, or it could be some hybrid or combination, and maybe kids will go back to school and maybe they won't, and they'll be online again for a while, which sounds to be like, that's the case for most people. So how do we do all this under one roof? How do we do it with all the people, all the pets, all the distraction? And that's really how, the book came to be. It's certainly a timely topic, but it was also fun for me to work on while I had a little more time and needed to make some adjustments anyway.
Yeah. Now, I want to make full disclosure. I talked to Dave beforehand about this project, and Regina Lott came to me also on top of the project. I was busy writing other books and other things, but I support this project heavily, and that's why I said, when it comes out, come on the show. I want to support this.
Yeah.
I think it's such a great thing, but I just want to when we talked about it, you sent me an email, we talked about it. If I wasn't busy doing the 20 other things that I do, as you know, you all know out there, I do 20 different things, I would have been happy to be part of it, but I love it. So we're going to talk about this book. So first of all, because I did the research myself in terms of what habit is, but I want to know from you, so One Habit is this series, where did it come from?
So it came from Steve Sambliss. So he is my co-author on this book, and he's the kind of the brains and the structure behind the process of doing this series of collaborative books. So he has One Habit for women action takers, One Habit for fighting cancer, One Habit. There's a number of books, and I think he mentioned, within a year's time there'll be 20 of them or so, and I think there's just 3 or 4 now. So when he approached me and said, "Hey, your name has been given to me as kind of an expert in the field, as a professional organizer, and somebody who helps other people be organized with their home offices and has worked from home for 17 years, 20 years. Would you consider co-authoring this with me?" So he has the structure, and then he looks for a subject matter expert. And he looks for a subject matter expert that hopefully has a broad network from whom they can draw upon and make requests and ask. And you had that ask.
I was very honored.
And it's the right time, right fit for some people and not others. So I'll tell you, you have to ask a lot of people to get the right mix. It was also important to me to have diverse voices, diverse backgrounds and perspectives in the book. So I tried to cast a wide net and I've got a great network of people. I'm so appreciative for that. And I think the result is we've gotten that diversity, even on opinion. So the book is each contributing author shared one habit that they felt led to a thriving home office, and then one unhabit, so something they'd suggest you stop doing.
Yes.
Yes. And so the book, there's 70 odd chapters, and each chapter is written by a different contributing author. And even the suggested habit of two different authors, when we talk about diversity, they go directly against each other. So someone says, do this, and someone else is saying, do this. They conflict. But here's the beauty, is that in these 70 some odd chapters, someone only needs to take away a couple of gems that are the right fit for them, implement them, and they will see a difference in their productivity and when they're working from home. So even those two things conflict, and we have two pieces of advice that are different, neither are wrong.
Right.
Neither are right. They're right for some people and not for others. So that's the great thing I liked about this collaborative project, is this variety of voices, the diversity of perspectives, the different writing styles, and it's practical. You could open it up, in fact, suggested you open it up to a chapter and you read that and think about, is that something I'd want to implement? If I did, what would that look like? You could try it. I think we're all one big science experiment. We test and measure things. We tweak and adjust. And so that's how I would approach reading the book if I were to pick it up and having not seen it before.
Okay, so of the many contributors, what is one that really surprised you in a great way? Like, what's one habit you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, well, one person wrote very specifically about the habit that led to his home office success, which was running his dogs every day. And I'm a dog person. I love dogs and have had dogs in my life. I don't have a dog right now. And so that just isn't something that is really on my radar, but it makes so much sense for him. So thinking about working from home, he's got a couple dogs, they're super active, and he knows that when he can get them out, run them in the morning, get them tired, he is more likely able to focus then for a bigger period of time before they have needs again. Right? So that was unusual in my opinion, because, and that also not going to apply to everybody. However, you can think about, all right, well, if I don't have dogs, but I have kids, and not that you're going to run your kids, I'm not saying that, but there is something to be said for giving your full attention and being very present with your kids for a period of time, so that then you can kind of fill their cup, literal or figurative, get them busy and doing something, and then you can focus on work for more of an uninterrupted period of time, and then you can switch again. So even if someone didn't have dogs, his chapter, the concept makes sense, right?
I was thinking about, I was saying you could apply that to other things, just like, I gotta do this in the morning, and it could be an aging parent you're taking care of. It could be anything where you're like, get them settled with them, and then you're able to apply and go to work. Go to work, so to speak. Right, go to work. Yeah. Interesting. I was thinking, this book is also good. I change my language all the time. I like to use language I feel is more useful, inclusive, that kind of stuff. And I always tell my clients who are stay-at-home moms, I always say, stop saying that. I say, you're house managers, you're mom managers, and you're a manager. You're running. I mean, like when we start talking and organizing their office, which they don't even call it an office. They're like, what's the little area I have off the service porch? I'm like, no, that's an office. So I think this book would be good for them too, couldn't it be?
For sure. Yeah, I think there's definitely some tips and strategies in there that would apply. And a lot of house managers or family managers who are either mom or dad, and they're filling that role, they are often doing that and something else. So whether that is being an active volunteer, whether that is running activities for their kids as part of that, kind of family management, whether it is working part-time or full-time and running a household, there is always work to be done at home, paying bills, organizing the financial situation, keeping records, keeping household records organized, all of that. And then there's, meal planning, and there's, how are you going to get all the laundry done, and all of the work of the household, however that's distributed, whether that falls on one person's shoulders or multiple people, there is often kind of the administrative side behind all that.
And thank you for saying that. You said dads. That's right. I want to be inclusive. Yes, and there are dads at home doing the same thing, and grandmas maybe raising kids, whoever's at home.
That's right.
I guess the point I'm trying to make, of course, is that don't downsell yourself. Like, you're doing a lot of work.
Yes. Yeah. Project management, people management, lots of work. Yeah. System management.
Well, doing this book, did it make you look at your home office any differently?
I have worked out of my home office primarily since 1999.
I know.
So,
right.
So this wasn't new to me, this working from home. I am working less often with clients in person and doing more webinar delivery or through Zoom or Teams consulting.
Yeah.
But my home office has really been set up. I guess the one thing that changed is there were two of us in my home office. So I had an employee that came also. And because of the stay-at-home orders that were in place, she stopped coming into my home office and worked exclusively from her home. So I guess that is one shift that was made. And I don't know that we changed much in the home office, except I did change, and this is a little thing, but I changed the desk from which I do the Zoom calls now, because the lighting is better where I'm sitting, and you can see a little bit more natural light coming in, and the background is a little cleaner than when I was sitting at the desk, which is behind me.
Okay.
Facing this way. So that is an adjustment I made because I'm doing so many video calls and conferences.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense at all. And people were going for such a long time. I think I remember that. He went on for a long time. That's my best friends has been working at home since 2003. And he's like, "Oh, James, I couldn't go to an office at this point. I'm so used to being at home and having everything set up here, and it's so comfortable." And I know the one thing that I had to do was change the placement of my desk. It was just on my bed.
Yeah. Okay.
It was bad. For the first 4 years I was here, I had it like I thought I'll put it in the middle of the room. I'll be in front of there's the computer, and they're like, well, no, I keep looking at it. I'm in bed, thinking I should be at the desk doing work.
Yes. Yeah, I think when we talk about setting up a successful workspace at home, you do want to consider, how the workspace impacts your personal life and how your personal life can impact the workspace, and where you're able to have a dedicated workspace. That's ideal. And I've got the luxury of having a dedicated home office, and certainly not everybody does. There's a lot of cities where that's not practical, and a lot of homes that either needs to be a shared space or it needs to be a combo space. It's the family room, it's the dining room table, it's whatever it is. And so just thinking about how, no matter if it's a dedicated space or not, you can have some intention around how you set that up. And I think that, having the space be organized, free of clutter, having the critical supplies or technology that you need right there, possibly making it portable so that you can easily pick up and move if you need to, because you're sharing the space, but still be productive. Having some quiet or noise canceling headphones or something where you can focus. Those are all elements that we talk about when we want to consider where we're going to work from home.
Yeah, I decided this was last year, I decided that I would buy a desktop. And that actually changed everything for me. So we're on a desktop right now. So I have my MacBook over there. I have my stuff. That's my portable thing. But they're all connected. I have it all connected. So I can pick up any device and work on it. But I thought that was one major thing that I did within the last year for my home office. Was like, well, just get a desktop. Have that dedicated. It's there. It's Mac, so it's lightweight. I can move it anywhere I want to. But it's like, it's nice. It's there. And the MacBook is kind of my portable office. I can go outside. I can go to the beach, whatever. And it's all tied together. So whenever I go into a file, it's everywhere.
Right. You know, I've got some corporate clients whose employees are working from home, and I've seen some companies do some incredible things for their employees. I did a workshop for a company today, a webinar, and they have and sent all their employees with a second monitor. So while they had that in the office, they wanted their employees to have that in their home workspaces as well, because they feel like that helps them be more productive. The same company is offering yoga, virtual yoga for their employees as a break a couple times a week. I mean, just little things like that that show the employees that they care. They are things that are going to lead to more productivity while their employees are working from home. And so it's just a win-win. I think those are great advances or changes.
That's great. You know, my daughter works for the state of California, so they set her home with 2 monitors, actually. Because she has one for emails and one for projects. And so she was telling me the same thing, that they actually said, here you go, take them with you.
Yep.
And she's into the server. The thing is, it's so funny, because a lot of companies used to say to me, well, we can't work from home. But then this happened, and you're like, but you can work from home. You just you don't work from home.
Right.
But you can. And I know some companies actually it's more cost effective to actually do work.
I think this has been a huge, we'll call it a proof of concept for any managers that were leery about having their employees work from home. Now that's been tested, and for many, they're seeing that their employees can be equally, if not more productive from home, and they're saving money. The company is saving money. So I know a lot of companies, Google I'm in the Seattle area. So Google here in Seattle, and possibly their nationwide or global operations, has now announced that employees will be able to work from home for another year. So at least until July of 2021 now, that they're not having employees come back to the office. I know there are a lot of companies here in the Northwest that are giving their employees the option to return part-time, or part-time to the office, part-time from home, or just to stay home. And again, proving that, and companies really putting a focus on results over hours spent, that has been, I think, a big shift too, because some people are getting more done at home. They're more focused and concentrated, so it takes them less time. Should that matter, or is that good? That's a good thing, right? So yeah.
And you're a productivity consultant, so I know you feel it. I know you feel that. That's good. It's a great thing, because it really is all about productivity, and everybody works at a different pace. Everybody's pace is different, and I think you're right. And sometimes maybe at home it's less distraction. Maybe you're like, oh, I actually can get work done if I get up first thing in the morning, and work when you feel like it, kind of.
That's right.
Feel like it, but I do good work first thing in the morning. Well, I'm at home, I can do that instead of trying to go to the office, find parking, it's unlocked. It's like you can actually never do it, or late at night. I'll stay up late tonight. I'll just do it, and I'll sleep in the morning. Like, you're right. There are things that us entrepreneurs know about, but now the business world is finding out now.
Yeah, and sometimes that is necessitated by needing to fit personal stuff in the day too. So especially for those that may have kids at home that they're now trying to help learn at home, they may need to take a break during the traditional workday to spend time with their kids and to help their kids with learning or whatever. And so that might mean that they do some work early in the morning, they spend some family time or some time with the kids, then they return to work, maybe then some more family time, dinner, bedtime, and then maybe, a little bit more on the work end. And while, you don't want to feel like work is there around the clock, I think to have the flexibility to get the work done as it works for you, with your energy, with your personal needs, I think that's a good thing.
I agree. I totally agree. How did it feel being number one?
Yeah, well, great. I need to clarify too. So, if you know Amazon, they have all these different lists, right? So yes, we are a number one bestseller.
Don't celebrate the victory of what kind of number one it is. Okay.
Yes. Go ahead. So that's great, and I love it. I think this is a needed book. I think this is a popular topic. I love that it's getting some attention, and this is the other beautiful thing with having a collaborative book is we have 70 plus contributing authors talking about it, sharing it, promoting it. And so that's really good too. When you write something, when you publish and put something out there or have any piece of content, of course you want it to be seen. Typically you're not writing for the exercise of just writing.
No,
so that's the goal. The goal is to get it in as many hands as possible. It is available right now in paperback version and in ebook version. In a couple of weeks, the hardback will be available, and then next is the audio book. So that's going to be an option too.
Oh, wait, the audiobook. Are you each going to read your own chapters? Or okay, cute.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Good idea. No, but I still say it's #1 selling book because it was #1 that day for some.
Yes.
I still had
Yes.
these sniper victories. And
It was, and we're still on some great best-selling lists, best-selling for new releases in the home office category and all that. So it is nothing to sneeze at. That is for sure.
Thank you. But I just want to say, only because there's a lot of books out there, and I think so. Just tell me, just in your opinion, why folks should get this book.
I think because of what I mentioned before, the diversity of strategies in there, the diversity of voices from where they came, the options to open it up and to read something and then to apply it, it's very practical. So it is it's a hefty book. I don't know if you can tell. It's a volume, but it's not overwhelming because you don't have to read it from beginning to end. There's a great introduction. Steve wrote some great things just about habits. I wrote a great foreword, in my opinion. So there's some good things that set the book up. So read that, and then you can go wherever you want. There's a table of content which lists the habits and the authors, but it's something you can just really open up and consume in bite-sized pieces. And I think we need that today. To just as a professional organizer, I know in my days of organizing homes and offices and corporate clients, I can't tell you how many books on organizing and on time management and on productivity I found on shelves of these people that then hired us. And obviously the books weren't enough, or the books didn't get read. And I'd hear from people like, oh, I thought that was a good idea, but I just don't even have time to look at it. Well, that's the beauty of this, is that it's easy to just open to a chapter, read one chapter, they're relatively short, and then try it out. So you can do what I call test and measure, like see how it works for you, find some things that are going to be life-changing. And again, there's over 70 in here, but you only need a few, right? You only need a few.
True. One habit for a thriving home office. Please go to Amazon. Run, don't walk. Well, actually, you don't have to run or walk. You just click a button online and get it. Look at what it looks like. It's a beautiful cover. Look at it. Love the red. I love it. There you go. See, look at that. Look at those people in the back. Look at those folks. Thank you. So go there and go ahead and get it. Get it for someone you may think needs to read it also. I mean, great gift.
I have had some people say, I'm going to buy that for my team. I've got a team of 10, everyone's getting a copy. And again, thinking about what a manager or an employer could do for their employees, this could be a great, inexpensive tool to give to your employees for sure.
Gabby, thanks for being on the show again. You're
so welcome.
You're amazing.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and anytime.
Perfect. So to also tell folks where they can find you and your company and stuff on the interwebs.
Yeah, so our website is itssimplyplace.com. And I mentioned that free work from home guide, a PDF that we have with a cool planner in the back. That's itssimplyplace.com/W for work, F for from, and H for home. So WFH guide. And they can pick that up. And then on social media, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all with the, www.facebook.com/simplyplace. So use that handle on any of those platforms and you'll be able to connect with us and find us that way.
And in the description, I'll have all that stuff in there so you can make it easy for you guys to find it also. But yeah, please go there and follow her, follow them, get the book. Of course, you can follow me. We're all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms, and also at JLJ Media and all social media platforms. And on TikTok, I have my organizing series, How to Get Super Organized Under a Minute. So I'm doing that also on there. And of course, you can find all my books on Amazon.com under James Lott Jr. And I think, everyone, please be safe out there. Try to stay healthy as you can and have compassion for each other. Thank you, Debbie, for being on the show.
Thank you, James, for having me.
Take care.